Hardware giant Xiaomi recently released in India the Mi Band 2, the successor to its tremendously popular wearable fitness tracker. My name is Avnish, you're at TechBee, and this is the review for the Mi Band 2. Let's begin. The packaging of the Mi Band is similar to other Xiaomi products. Simple and nothing fancy. The neat white colored box contains the main module, a black silicone wrist strap, small charging cable, and a manual booklet with text in English and Chinese language. Weighing at just 19 grams, the Mi Band 2 keeps the iconic design of its predecessor, but replaces the 3 LED lights with an OLED display. There is also present a touch-sensitive button on the bottom end of the screen. The lower side has the 2 charging pins, and on the underside of the unit there is an optical heart rate sensor. The Mi Band 2 strap is much more rubbery, softer to touch, and more comfortable than the one seen on the original Mi Band. The band is IP67 certified, which means it is water and dust proof and you can easily take a shower with it. Coming to the most anticipated aspect, the screen, which merely occupies 25% of the front glass, is a 0.42-inch UV-coated, scratch-resistant monochrome OLED display. I would say visibility is great for the indoors, but it's quite tough to read under the sunlight. In fact, trying to check the time on a run just isn't possible at times. Also, the screen is often a fingerprint magnet. Having said that, despite its low price point, the Mi Band 2 feels solid enough and looks quite impressive. Retailing for just 2000 Indian rupees, it still manages to provide some sweet features. Pressing the capacitive button shows the number of steps taken, distance travelled, and the calories burned. The pedometer seems to record the steps pretty accurately, and I even manually counted my steps at random and the results were in accordance. On the other hand, the calories burned are just an estimate, as it only counts steps and does not take into account the intensity of the workout. You can also set a maximum of 10 alarms to make the band vibrate and wake you up without disturbing the others around you. And you can even snooze by simply tapping on the button. The band can also track your sleep and differentiate between your light and deep sleep patterns. In addition to that, you can even enable automatic heart rate measurements during your sleep, which provide a much more accurate information, but this will have a rather huge impact on the battery life. A new feature of the Mi Band 2 is the heart rate monitor. Unfortunately, this is also the weakest link in the chain. Many a times, it fails to take a reading and requires you to be still, very still, which basically defeats the whole purpose of having a heart rate sensor. But after the last firmware update, there has been quite an improvement and it seems to be working pretty good. You can also set the band to show the clock every time you lift your wrist, as one would normally do to check time in a mechanical watch. There's also an option to show the day and date in addition to the time, which is very handy. Another cool feature is that you can even push notification alerts to the Mi Band and it will gently vibrate and show the app icon every time a notification arrives from one of the selected apps. However, you can only select 5 apps, which might just be insufficient for many users. Do take note that due to the small pixel count, the screen can only display a bunch of pre-fed notification icons and no other accompanying information. To use the band, you will need to download the Mi Fit app from the App Store or the Google Play Store. The app lets you view your detailed history of the steps taken, sleep pattern, heart rate measurements, and the daily goals. You can turn on notifications and alarms and even schedule the do not disturb timings. There's also another nifty feature, idle alerts. When enabled, the band will gently vibrate if you've been sitting at one place and haven't moved in an hour. Having said that, though the app is simple and follows flat design, yet it somehow manages to fall short in user friendliness. Be it because of the weirdly named categories, adding friends via QR codes instead of names and email, or simply the lack of settings in the settings menu. The Mi Band 2 is powered by a 70 mAh battery which charges in around 2 hours and offers approximately 20 days of use on a single charge. However, you cannot charge the band when the module is fixed to the strap, and instead you have to take it out every time and insert it in the proprietary USB cable. Take note, as the cable is short, you will have to be extra careful not to misplace it. With extensive use during my testing, I was still close to the company claims and was left with 51% of charge after using the band for 9 days. The Mi Band 2 makes for a great purchase, mostly because of its price. That being said, you shouldn't buy the Mi Band 2 if you're a serious athlete or if you need to actively monitor your heart rate to adjust your training accordingly. But if you only want something that can keep tabs on your daily activity or something to give you the feeling of a smartwatch by pushing you notifications every time your phone rings or a message arrives, then this device might just be the perfect thing for you. Thanks a lot for watching. Feel free to give your comments and I'll really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel.